I commissioned one of the world's best puzzle creators to make me a Sudoku masterpiece of 5 linked classic Sudokus. They gotta be solved in order. I'm gonna show you how to solve Sudoku pillar puzzle number 2 using the information we got from puzzle 1. So going over the rules, the normal Sudoku rules apply. So the digits 1 through 9 can only appear in each row, column, and 3x3 block one time. Puzzles must be solved in order. We already did puzzle 1. This is puzzle 2, and colored cell values from a previous puzzle carry over to the next puzzle. So from puzzle 1, you found out that this is a 7, 1, 3, and a 9. And so we can use that in the starting grid to solve puzzle 2 and figure out what is in these blue cells. Click below if you want to give this puzzle a go, and with that, it's solving time. So let's start by finding the restrictions in the digits moving from 1 up to 9. So if you look at the ones, you may notice with these two ones and these two ones, you can solve for 1 in block 7. And then with this one and the one here, you only have 2 places for a 1 in block 2. So I'm going to mark that to show those restrictions. And these ones are in the same row, so they act as a pointing pair, which means outside of that block, you cannot have a 1. If you try to put a 1 here, no place to put a 1 in block 2. So no 1s can be here. 1s can't be here because of this one. And because of these two 1s, they can't be here. So you can solve this cell now for a 1. And then with this one and these two 1s, you can mark 1s right there. And I call that Snyder notation, invented by Thomas Snyder. Whenever you have 2 possibilities in the block, mark them. It helps you find those restrictions easier. And greetings, friend. I want to thank Clover for making me this Sudoku pillar. Clover creates and solves puzzles with Bill Murphy and Phil Newman on her own channel, Genuinely Approachable Sudoku. You need to check that out. But not only that, Clover is also one of the main organizers of SudokuCon 2025, which I am one of the proud sponsors. I've never solved an interconnected puzzle like this before on the Smart Hobbies channel, which brings me up to the question of the day. What is something new you plan to do in 2025? Drop it in the comments and share with others so you can help me grow the best Sudoku community on YouTube. This all starts with your feedback. So we did the 1s. Let's check out the 2s. With these 2s, you have 2 places for a 2 in block 1, so we can mark that. You'll notice there's 3 places for a 2 down here in block 7. I'm not going to mark that. If you look in the other blocks, there's no other restrictions we can mark right now with the 2s. But if you go to 3s, with this 3 and this 3, 2 places for a 3 in block 4. That's a pointing pair to go with this 3 and the 3 cutting across the row. There's only 1 place for a 3 in block 7. And then with these 2 3s, you can put Snyder 3s here in block 9. And then with these 2 3s, you put Snyder 3s here in block 3. And it brings you up to an interesting situation here. You might notice that the 3s are restricted in blocks 3 and blocks 9 in the same 2 columns, columns 7 and 8. So that means the 3 is going to be here and here, or here and here in those 2 blocks. So where does it put a 3 in block 6? Well, 3 has to be in column 9, right? Because there's nowhere else in column 9 to put a 3. And so if it was possible for all 3 of these cells, you'd have a claiming triple. But since you have a 3 right there, 3 is going to be one of these 2 spots. This is called a claiming pair, and this is one of the ways you can find it by using this notation. And I cover claiming pairs and the other top 6 most popular strategies in my free Sudoku solving guide. Okay, nothing else with the 3s. Let's move on to the 4s. With these 2 4s, you can put Snyder 4s in block 5, and with the same 4s, Snyder 4s in block 9. Okay, check out the 5s. You only have 1 5 given. Nothing we can mark there. There are no given 6s. Can't do any markings there either. But with the 7s, we can do some solves. With this 7 and these 2, you can solve for 7 right here, displacing that Snyder 3. So you can solve that 3 right away. And then with these 2 7s, you can solve for 7 here in block 7. And then with this 7 and this 7, you'll notice the 7s are in the same spots as the 1s in block 2. So we found a hidden pair. 1 and 7 can be there and nothing else can, so we can mark that as a 1, 7 hidden pair. They also act as a pointing pair, so 7s can't be here either. And with this 7 and this 7, you can actually solve this cell for a 7 in block 3, displacing that Snyder 3. And then with these two 7s, you can solve for 7 here in block 9, displacing that Snyder 4. Nice. And then with these two 7s and this 7, you can solve for 7 right here in block 8, disambiguating the 1 and 7 up here in block 2 and taking care of all of the 7s. Okay, let's move on to the 8s. You'll notice with this 8 coming up, you can put Snyder 8s here in block 1. And then in block 3, with this 8 and this 8, we have Snyder 8s right here. And then with this 8 coming down and this 8 cutting across, you have a pointing pair of 8s in block 8, which restricts the 8s to these two cells in block 7. Okay, let's move on to the 9s. You might see with these two 9s, right here and right here, you can solve for 9 in block 6. And then with these two 9s and this 9, you can solve for 9 here in block 3, displacing that Snyder 8. Okay, and also with the 9s, with this 9 and these two 9s, you can put Snyder 9s in block 5. And in block 7, with these 9s and this 9, you got Snyder 9s right here. So we've not solved any of the blue cells yet. We've gone through all the digits. So a bonus tip is if you made some solves as you went through the digits 1 to 9, go back through and see if there's some more easy solves before trying to look for more advanced strategies. And you're going to need advanced strategies for this puzzle. We're going to get stuck and we'll need something a little bit more to get past those steps. Okay, so one thing we can look at is with this 1, you can displace that Snyder 1 and solve this cell for 1 in block 5. With the 2s now, with this 2 and this 2, you got Snyder 2s in block 5. 3 places for 2 here. Can't mark that, but if we solve one of these cells, we can put Snyder 2s there, which we're going to be able to do because of this 3 here. Displace, and you can solve that for a 3. And then with these 3s, you can displace that Snyder 3, solve this cell for 3. Just leaves you a nice 2, 6 naked pair. I'll mark that. And then with the 4s, you can see that these two 4s, you got 4s in block 3, and then in block 2 with this 4, you got more 4s, and then in block 4 with this 4, Snyder 4s here, and in block 7 with these 4s, Snyder 4s right there. So a lot of restrictions with the 4s. I'll get back to those. With the 5s, with this 5 cutting all the way across, mark 2 places for a 5 in block 8. And then speaking of 8s, with these two 8s, you can actually solve for an 8 right here. Remember I said we could do Snyder 2s if we solve one of these 3 cells? So there we go. And then with these two 8s and this 8, solve for 8 in block 5, displacing the Snyder 8 and solving this cell now for an 8. Okay, and with the 9s, here and here, you have Snyder 9s now in block 8. And the 2s we got in block 6. And that is it. That's as far as you're going to get using the Snyder marking and the normal strategies. And so now you have 2 choices to make. You can look for single candidate strategies that use all the same digit, or you can look for bi-value cells. You may notice we've solved all of the 1s. We've solved all of the 3s and all of the 7s. So we've solved some of the single candidates. Let's focus more on the single candidates and see what else we can do there. So how you do this is you want to highlight where all of a particular digit can be. So you see with the 1s, we got all 9 filled out, nothing to do there. You go to the 2s, and you can put 2s here, 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 kind of follow those Snyder markings, here, these spots, these 3 spots, these spots. And I'll highlight those in orange. And you'll notice we have some conjugate pairs. We have some restrictions here, but there's no advanced strategies you can use with the 2s at this time. All right. the 3s. You'll see that all of the 3s are filled out. Let's move on to the 4s. I said there was something interesting going on with the 4s. Let's see what we can do. 4s can be there, here, all of these cells, these two. I'm also using those Snyder marks to help me out. And that's where the 4s can be. And we'll put those in orange. Okay, got something very peculiar going on here. And I want to show this to you. Check out in block 1. You'll notice that a 4 goes down the column, right? And then if you cut across the row, there's only one row you cut across. So you can cut across one column and one row in block 1 and eliminate all the possibilities for 4 there. I call that slicing and dicing. Now, when you look out, you'll notice that it connects to another 4 that is connected to a conjugate pair. Remember, conjugate pairs are when there's 2 possibilities for a candidate. So 4 can be either here or here in column 4. Whenever you have this situation, the slice and dice connected to a conjugate pair, you also have it coming down connecting these two, you have found a strategy called an empty rectangle. So this is very interesting here. And what you can do with that, since you have the connecting conjugate pairs, is you can make some eliminations. So the problem is what if you put a 4 right here? If you put a 4 right there, you'll notice that this couldn't be a 4. This would have to be a 4 in column 4. And then where could you put a 4 in block 1? It can't be in any of these cells, right? Because of this 4 and this 4. Well, that'd break the puzzle. So we know a 4 can't be there. So that's how the logic works. Basically, you slice down here to see this 4, connected to its conjugate pair. Well, let's do it this way. You slice this way with this 4, connected to the conjugate pair right here, and then you look to see where that meets with the slice down the column. So you'll hear this one and this cell, they meet right there. You can eliminate a 4 from that cell using the empty rectangle technique. For the reason I just showed you, put a 4 there, you have no place to put a 4 in block 1. And this is awesome because by doing that, now you can remove that Snyder mark and you know you can solve for a 4 right here. And let's see how far this is going to take us. You can eliminate a 4 from right there, and I'll eliminate the color while I'm at it, and solve for a 4 right here. Awesome. And you can eliminate a 4 from right there, solve for a 4 up here, removing that color, removing these colors, and with this 4, you can displace that Snyder 4, solve for a 4 right there, and I'll change out a color mode to solve that. And now with these two 4s, this 4, you can remove the 4 from down there, solve this cell for a 4. And with these 4s, you can solve this cell for a 4 now. And we can remove all the 4s because we've marked them all, remove all those colors. Awesome. I love this. Empty rectangles. I don't show these very often, but there's a cool way, a single candidate strategy, cool way to make some eliminations. It's considered a little bit more advanced strategy. Okay, we did all the 4s. What can we do with the 5s now? Let's see if there's something going on with the 5s. They can be here. They can be there. They can be there. They can be in these cells. They can be here. One of these places. And right here. Let's use orange. And remove the orange from that 5. Okay. Now, there's another advanced strategy using single candidates we can do with the 5s. Notice here in block 6, you'll see that you have a conjugate pair of 5s in the column, right? So 5 can either here or here. One's inside the block, one's outside the block. And in the row 4, you have another conjugate pair. 5 can be there or there. One's inside the block, one's outside the block. When you have this situation, you found another Sudoku advanced strategy. This is called a 2-string kite. And I'll do is I'll color these tips to kind of show you what's going on here. All right. Where these two cells see, they both see this cell right here, right? This tip looks up, this tip looks to the left. If you put a 5 right there, what would happen in this puzzle? You'd remove 5 from those two cells, and then what you see very quickly is that the only place to put a 5 in column 8 is now right here, But the only place to put a 5 in row 4, can't put it there, it would have to be right there. And you'd have to put 2 5s in block 6. That breaks the puzzle. So you know that any cell that sees both these, you can eliminate a 5. So we can eliminate that 5 from right there. That can't be a 5. And two-string kites are nice. You know, this is kind of like the top of the kite. These are like the tails. Very, very awesome. So what does that do for you? If you remove this, where can a 5 go now in row 2? Can't be there. It's got to be right here. So we can solve this cell now for a 5. This is beautiful logic that Clover put here. Only solve one of the digits for the blue, but we're getting closer. And by solving this for a 5, you now may notice that you can actually put Snyder 5s here in block 6. But that's about it we can do with the 5s. So let's move on to the 6s. And in marking all the 6s, since we have no givens, you can actually mark every single open cell or one that just has center markings here. And let's see what advanced strategy we can find with the 6s. Mark that in orange. Okay. You want to look for those conjugate pairs. You might notice there's a conjugate pair of 6s here in row 2, right? 6 can be there or there, and that's it. Look in row 4. A 6 can only be here or here. The base shares the same column. Column 3. The tips are in different columns in the same 3-block band or chute. And so, either a 6 is here. If it's not here, it has to be there. Can't be here, and you put a 6 right there in this other yellow cell. If a 6 is not here because of the conjugate pair, the 6 right there, this can't be a 6, that'd be a 6. So you either got a 6 here, or you got a 6 there. This is a Sudoku skyscraper. It's a sideways skyscraper. This is the bottom, and imagine a skyscraper going up right here and going up right there. And what we know is that any cell that sees both these yellow cells, you can't have a 6, right? So this cell cannot contain a 6. If it contained a 6, you knock out the 6s here, and you have to put 2 6s in these 2 spots, and that'd break the puzzle. So you can remove this for a 6, and now there's only one place to put a 6 in block 3, is this yellow cell. This is awesome. I love how Clover did this. So you put the 6 right there, and we're going to be able to make some more solves now. Now let's see how far you can get without getting stuck. With this 6, we can disambiguate the 2 6 right there. Nice. And this means this has to be a 2 right there. And that's going to be a 2. And you end up with a nice 5 6 naked pair right here. Okay? And I love this part when you start knocking out all of these marks. Like, for example, this 2 displaces a Snyder 2. I know getting closer to the end of the solve, you're on the good solve path when this happens. All right, what else can we do? All right, we can look across row 7. You have a 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. You need a 2, 5, and a 9. Show you my neat naked triple trick. You got the 2 and a 9 right here. Looking at this cell, you got the 2 repeated. You can solve all 3 right away. This has to be your 5. The only place the 2 can go is right there, and this is going to be your 9. Nice. And now by displacing that Snyder 5, you can solve this cell for a 5 now. And we're not done because of this 9. Displace that 9. Solve this for a 9, displacing the Snyder 2. Great. And then with these 2s, you can solve for a 2 right there. The only digit left in block 8 is a 6. It allows you to solve for a 6 here in block 2. With these 2 6s, solve for a 6 in block 1. Only place for a 6 in block 4 is right there. And then you can go for a 6 here in block 5 and disambiguate the 6 and the 5 there. Nice. Now let's follow these 5s. Only place for a 5 in block 5 is right there. And you can solve for the 5 right there in block 4. Up here in block 2. And with this 5, solve that for a 5, displacing that Snyder 8. And so we're now ready to solve these blue cells. Because of this 8, you can displace the Snyder 8 and solve this cell for an 8. We had displaced a 9 previously, so you can solve that cell for a 9. And our last digit is a 6. So 8, 6, 9, 4 is what you need to input into the starting grid of puzzle 3 in those blue cells. And that's going to be out next week. In the meantime, you can check out this other video. Thank you so much for watching.